Hi guys. Happy Tuesday morning. Hello, hello. Okay. I am going to jump right in here and start our class on kids and babies. So, this past weekend, I had got a lot of questions about this, so it was convenient that we were doing this today. For those of you who don't know me, I am Ashley Ulizzi. I am a doTERRA wellness advocate and Reiki practitioner. I am super passionate about this topic because it was a huge part of my startup. Whenever my son was 9 months old is when oils found me. So he's almost 3 now and is very well oiled. So I love connecting with parents and educating them on how to use oils to benefit their kids, because this is just such an amazing tool to have as a mom and as just for your kids in general. It's really just, it's a life changer. So nothing makes me like literally sick more than thinking about my life before I had oils and all of the things that I was using, and I was just so uneducated on them, you know, while I was using them on my son and things like that. So, you know, just different types of products, and you know, what we are portrayed to think that it is, you know, safe, but it's really like has a lot of toxic things in it. So I am going to talk about the most common remedies and the most top questions I get when it comes to kids and babies. So the first one would be sleep. Whenever I first got oils, my son didn't sleep well. I didn't sleep well. We were also, you know, breastfeeding and throughout the night and stuff, so nobody was really sleeping. So my first go-to would be to diffuse at night, which, if you guys haven't seen the doTERRA whale diffuser that came out for Christmas, it is still available, but it probably won't last very long. It is amazing. It is my favorite thing ever, and my son loves it. So it actually has a like music on it as well, like calming music, and it has lights, and you can shut them both off if you want, but the lights shine on the ceiling and it's really pretty. So that's my favorite diffuser ever if you guys are looking for a diffuser that is kid friendly. So what I do at night is in there, Serenity is like a lifesaver when you have sleeping issues. So I love to diffuse Serenity at night. You can always like customize it to what's going on. So if they are having like a hard time sleeping or breathing, and like if they have some congestion, I love to be able to just throw a blend in there of like Breathe, On Guard, Serenity, lime, eucalyptus, anything like that. And so he's getting all of the benefits while he's sleeping. So his immune system is boosting while he's sleeping. So I love that aspect of just being able to be so customizable to your kids and really just, you know, teetering to their needs throughout the day, you know, in this way. Now, we do use like a roller ball on him at night and stuff like that as well, but diffusing is going to be the best key to getting a good night's sleep. And honestly, it's really amazing to be able to have the tools to customize what they're needing to on a daily basis. It's just so empowering to be able to do that. Like I said, another powerful way to help calm them to get to sleep would be to apply them topically. We make our own calm blend, and what I actually did was I took an empty doTERRA bottle and just peeled the label off, cleaned it out, and I made a blend of, I believe I put in there like 5 drops of Serenity, 5 drops of Copaiba, 5 drops of Frank, 1 drop of Blue Tansy, and like 5 drops of Console and lavender. And I mix it up and I topped it off with fractionated coconut oil. So I just take a couple drops of that every night, and I roll it down, rub it down his spine and on his big toe. Over his heart too, if he's really like, you know, not like settling down or whatever. And it really makes a difference. So these two combined while you're sleeping is just like, it's just amazing. So another cool thing you could do is rub it on their wrists if they'll let you, just because if they're sleeping, and then they'll breathe that in at night as well. So there are so many custom blends that you can make. For example, there's juniper berry, which helps with nightmares, so it helps ease nightmares. So if I know that is a problem, I will put that in the diffuser. Thankfully, it has not been since we've used oils, but of course they always pop up at random times. So the next thing that has been like one of the biggest remedies in my house personally is like growing pains. So my son is 3. He's had growing pains, for quite a while now. Every so often, you know how that goes. And I know I can vividly remember that as a child growing up and how painful that was. So, and these tiny humans of ours are doing so much of it. So my favorite thing to do is grab our Deep Blue Touch, which is right here. It's upside down. So it's just Deep Blue Touch. It's pre-diluted. And I roll it up and down his legs. And I focus a lot on the knees as well. And I just rub it in. So this, honest to God, whenever I do this, and he wakes up at night screaming, and he'll tell me now that his legs hurt. But before he could like really communicate, it was more of a guessing game. And so this was always my go-to. And it was normally right. So, if you don't have the Deep Blue, you can always use lemongrass and lavender and dilute it properly for their age and rub it on their legs as well. So that will also help with the cramping and things of that sort. And like I said, he's back to sleep within minutes. So it's pretty amazing to do that. And if you know that they are having that, so if he has like an episode for like 1 or 2 nights in a row, for the next couple days, I will just do preventative maintenance, and I will just put it on him right before he goes to bed anyway. And that normally stops it altogether because it's already soothing those muscles. So, best thing ever is Deep Blue. The next one that I would say is the most common would be viruses. Because viruses just, especially if your kids are like in school or daycare or anything like that, they're exposed to a lot more germs than anybody else. So, my favorite thing to do is make an immune bomb blend. Now, I do keep a healthy blend that you can see on my page as well that is just like immune boosting, and I put it on him daily. But whenever viruses come around, I switch to the immune bomb. So as soon as I see that, I grab this blend, and in this blend is, here it is right here. What I did was I actually took an old doTERRA roller ball and I just cleaned it out and reused it because I love these ones. They're so awesome. So what I do in here is I put 5 drops of On Guard, 5 drops oregano, 5 drops of frankincense, 5 drops copaiba, 5 drops of lemon, arbor vitae, and copaiba. So 2 drops of melissa if you have it. I know that that's kind of like a sacred oil, but if you have it, that would be great as well. And I apply it down the spine, the tape of the neck, and the bottoms of the feet. I do it every 2 to 3 hours if I notice that he's sick, because believe it or not, their systems metabolize the oils faster than ours. So consistency is key whenever you're using oils. And of course, as you know, like with the viruses, if you go to the doctor, all they're going to do is they're going to tell you that it's going to run its course. So what's really, really cool about this is that the oils are actually able to pass through the cell and kill the virus. So it takes your sick time from what a virus would last probably about a week to about like 24 to 48 hours, depending on how consistent you are with your oils. So it's pretty amazing to see that turnaround so super fast as a mom, and just in general, because then you have a less chance of the rest of your family getting it and things of that sort. So the next one that I would recommend would be fevers. So I get a lot of questions about this. Fevers are, it's one of those controversial things. I remember whenever I first became a new mom, and they would scare the crap out of me because I didn't know anything about them. And people would tell me, oh my God, it's so bad. And I was overwhelmed. And every time I'd get a fever, I'd go to the doctor, and it was like this terrible cycle. And I was like, I don't understand what's going on with my son. Like, what happens when he gets a fever, right? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? And here's how I changed that overwhelming anxious feeling. I got super educated on the topic. So now, thankfully, since we've had oils, fevers and sickness have been very few and far in between. But they still happen. You know, it's just life. So when our kids get a fever, it's a great sign that their immune system is working properly. And what I do personally is I let the fever do its job. When I notice that he is becoming uncomfortable, this is when I apply peppermint touch and lavender touch down his spine, down his legs, and on the bottoms of his feet. So this is our peppermint touch. Again, pre-diluted for kids and babies, so totally safe. And I just let it on there. And now you can do this every 20 minutes until the fever breaks, but honestly, I've never had to do it more than twice. Like I said, I wait till I notice that he is getting uncomfortable. Obviously not like a, high temp or anything, but I notice that he's getting uncomfortable, and it's normally at night before bed and things of that sort. And I just do that remedy, and it normally breaks right away, and he's completely back to normal. So it's really awesome to see that and have that tool instead of just reaching for the Tylenol or, whatever. So, we are supporting his immune system. And of course, as he is sick, I'm supporting his immune system with his immune blend. So therefore, he is getting all the support and boosting his immune system so that it can help do its job. So I hope that helps. Now, the next thing that I get a lot of questions about would be tantrums. So of course, every kid's going to have these. And I really love the emotional aromatherapy blends for this because they are so effective and convenient. Again, pre-diluted in a roller ball. What I normally do is we have a blend, it's called Console. It's our comforting blend. And we have a blend called Peace in our emotional aromatherapy blend. Now, what I normally do is rub those over his heart and on the bottoms of his feet and sometimes on his wrists. And sometimes the back of his neck. It really just depends on how bad the tantrum is or like what he's letting me put on him at the time. So, if they are like flailing all around, it's not always the easiest thing to do. But it is very effective and it really just helps calm them down. So it's just, we personally as parents, we don't like to shut them down and yell at them and tell them, that they can't have emotions and things of that sort. And we choose to help him through it because we just believe it's healthier for him for having them than suppressing them. So, and then as they grow up, they end up conditioned to do that long term and the effects are not good. So I just love these mom tools that help support the emotions and help him get through them now and, work through them in the proper way. So what's really cool is, you can really use any oil that you feel like your child is drawn to. For example, like we have tons of, custom blends that we have made, and whatever we have on us is basically what we use. I was in the mall a couple weeks ago and the only touch oil I had on me, because all the other ones were in the car, which is not a good thing, I had jasmine on me. And I went and I took jasmine, the jasmine touch, and I rolled it over his heart. And when I did that, it was like he was a completely different child. So it's really so versatile, the oils that you can use with this. And you just use what you have. And frankincense is really good for that as well. So, there's really everything, that you can use to do that. So we also have the Itovi scanner, which is not necessary to have in your house if you have oils, but it is a very effective tool to have, and it's great for emotional needs. And I will do a separate post on that, but I basically just scan him and it tells me basically the emotional needs, the physical needs, and everything that his body is having, and I'm able to more understand what's going on. So it's really, really awesome. And again, I'll do a separate post on that, but not necessary to have in your house, but very effective. The next thing that I would say is the most common question that I get is digestion and constipation. So what I do is here is his digestion blend. Again, we have a Touch Digestion oil as well that is already pre-diluted and everything, but he sometimes needs some extra support, so I just custom make his own blend. And what I do is I put digestin and wild orange in there. Now, I also put lavender and copaiba in there. Not necessary, but if you have it, it's a nice extra boost to have to help them digest. Now, what you do is you can put it right around their belly button and on the insides of their feet. So like right on the arch, because that's where your reflex points are for your intestines and things of that sort. So that is my favorite thing to do. And it also helps with colic babies as well. So it's super convenient and super it's just such an amazing tool to have in your house. Now, what I do with this is, again, the same thing about depending on, how constipated he is or something like that, every 20 to 30 minutes, I'm putting it on him until he goes. So again, dilute it properly and you'll be fine. The next thing that I get a lot of questions about from parents would be our vitamins and our PB Assist Junior. So during this time of year, the PB Assist Junior is even more important because keeping their digestive systems functioning properly, which is helping their immune systems function properly. So what I do is with the PB Assist, they come in little packets, and I left mine downstairs, but they come in little packets, and it looks like a pixie stick. And I give him one a day every morning. I either mix it in his drink, or they can just take it right like a pixie stick. And I'm not going to lie, it tastes amazing. We thoroughly enjoy them as adults, and it's pretty much an ongoing joke in the doTERRA community that, are they more for parents or kids? So they taste like watermelon, and they're naturally flavored and everything. So it's amazing how fast they work, really. So whenever you do that in the morning, it's already getting their digestive systems functioning. So yeah, my favorite thing, really. The multivitamin has everything that they need. It's the A to Z chewable. No synthetics like the ones you're going to find at the grocery store. If you have not learned the difference, I encourage you to. And, kind of see what the difference is between, synthetic and man-made vitamins and the doTERRA vitamins. There is a complete difference. And what I like about this most is, our kids are not always going to eat everything that we want them to eat. And, sometimes I think we get worried, like, are they getting everything that they need? So what I do is I just give him the vitamin every day. And he does eat pretty healthy. But, kids go through spurts where they don't eat as much. So the vitamin is very great to have on hand. And at his age, I just give him one a day in the morning. And he asks for it every morning because it tastes so good. It tastes like watermelon as well. So I really, really just love that aspect of it. Whenever you do get it, you can also get the IQ Omega that comes with it. So it's all of their omega-6s and omega-3s, if they're not getting that. It's really great. I sometimes just sneak it in a smoothie for him, every other day or so. And that also helps with his digestive system. So now I would say the next biggest question I get would be, how do I know how much to dilute it when I'm using it on my kids? So again, the pre-diluted roller balls, the touch kits, the doTERRA cells, the touch oils, all of them are pre-diluted. You don't have to worry about it. But whenever you're doing it at home, and you'll find yourself doing this, I do it all the time, you really want to go by age. So this is a general idea of what you can do, but there are charts and things that we have. 0 to 1 years old, you want to do 2 to 3 drops in a 10 milliliter roller ball. So this is a 10 milliliter roller ball. And you want to dilute it the rest with a carrier oil, fractionated coconut oil, jojoba oil, whatever, you personally need. So dilute it with that, shake it up, and you'll be good to go. Ages 1 to 3, I normally do about 5 drops each in a 10 milliliter roller ball. Again, this is very personalized to your kids. So if you find that they're not getting enough support with just that, then you can always add another drop. But it's always best to start out with less so that you can add more. Now, So for instance, like with the Digest and rollerball, I do 5 drops of each oil and then top it off with a carrier oil. And they're still getting enough in their systems. So, and again, remember, they metabolize the oils faster than us. So for ages like 3 to 5, I would say roughly like 8 drops each in a 10 milliliter rollerball. 8 to 10. And just dilute it with fractionated coconut oil. So again, and then after that, it's really just basically like whatever you would use. Unless they have sensitive skin, then you always want to make sure that you're diluting it above that age. Now, as far as like, you know, aromatically and things like that, that's totally fine for any age. We recommend not diffusing peppermint when they're super, super young, just because it can help to slow their respiratory system, which we don't want to do. But our breathe oil and everything like that is totally fine. So now another tip would be like where to get your roller balls at if you're wanting to make them at home. So you can get them from many different places. Aroma Tools, Oil Life, the Root and Petal, which they actually sell those on Amazon. They have like colored tops. The kids love them. And I really suggest the ones with either the glass or the steel roller balls in them. So I'll show you what that looks like. So like these ones are the steel roller balls. They're just going to find that they're so much easier to apply, and it's just going to come out so much better. Now, this one is an older one that I had, and it is plastic. It's okay, but I wouldn't, if you're going to buy them for like the first time, I would just suggest just going with the metal ones because you're going to be so much happier with them. So, now keep in mind, you know, for another question that I really get is like moms that have multiple kids and sometimes they're breastfeeding and things of that sort. The thing with this is like the oils are totally safe when you're breastfeeding. The only one you want to stay away from would be peppermint if you have a problem with your milk supply. For me personally, it did not affect me at all like I wanted it to. But some moms, like everybody's body's different. And so you want to just keep that in mind whenever you are breastfeeding. So it's really convenient, like, because you can't take most over-the-counter drugs and things of that sort. So this is a nice alternative. Now, doTERRA does sell the touch roller balls as a kit by themselves. So if you're looking even like for moms for Christmas, like if you have like someone in your family that's a new mom and you don't know what to get them, this would be amazing because it will change their life. So I will post that on the comments after I get off here, the kit itself, and it will also be in my oil family group. If you're not in there, I'm going to post it in there as well. But that is just super, super convenient. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to comment while I'm still on here, and I will be happy to answer them. But if you think of something later, that's fine. You can just reach out to me. But I will post that link in the comments to that kit. You can check it out. And of course, you can make your own if you want to as well. So I hope that this was helpful for you. And I know that there is a tons of other remedies for kids and stuff that I use, but you know, we could be on here for hours talking about that. So if you have something, okay, anxiety in an 11-year-old. So what I would suggest would be the Serenity blend. There's quite a few things that we could use, and it would be more of like more in depth, but we have Serenity soft gels and Serenity oil. So the Serenity soft gels, what I would suggest is like if it's like an anxiety attack, take a Serenity soft gel. He's over 6, so he's totally okay to take this. That's what my number one go-to is for everybody that has anxiety, because it kind of replaces the anxiety medicine, which is super cool. The other thing would be frankincense, because personally, my success with frankincense whenever I had really bad panic attacks and things of that sort is I would take 2 drops under my tongue. And as soon as I did that, it was within minutes and it was gone, like completely gone. Because what it does is it goes in and it passes your blood-brain, the blood barrier wall in your brain, and it immediately affects your limbic system within probably 22 seconds. So it helps to calm that down. Now, personally, I do it as preventative maintenance now, so I do that every day, and I have had major success with that. So we have also like younger kids as well, like if it's affecting like their focus and things like that, like there's more to go into for that. But serenity would be serenity and balance mixed together. And also what you could do is mix the serenity and balance in a roller ball and put it on their spine, bottoms of the feet, temples, wrists, over their heart every single day, just as a preventative maintenance. So once you get it under control, this is very easy to just really take over. So, and we've had a lot of success with kids with the anxiety that have really calmed down. So, but I hope that answers your question, but we can go more in depth on that if you want to, but that's pretty much the gist of it, really. And, yeah, so, okay. Oh, the other thing I did want to touch on was, I know a lot of kids, like, these days have trouble, like, focusing in school. And, you know, I would say, like, you know, concentration and things of that sort. We've had a lot of success with the Intune blend, which is this guy right here. And a lot of parents have gotten their kids off of, like, certain medications and things like that for that, with the Intune and the Serenity. So that was really helpful as well, and it was very helpful for me whenever I started using Intune. So it really helps you, really helps you focus. So, all right. Well, I hope that this was helpful, and if you have any other questions, just feel free to reach out, and I hope you